Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or good night, everybody. Welcome to Conscious Radio Network. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Paul Mekas. Tonight, we have a special guest. Her passion for learning combined with the desire to explore everything metaphysical, spiritual, or holistic has led Erin on a fantastic journey of studies over the past 50 years. From aromatherapy to Zen. Some of her achievements: tarot, 40 plus years doing tarot, certified psychic medium, certified light worker, Reiki master level. How do you say that?
Say Sheem, and
Sashim.
Also for Shambhala, those are energy modalities.
Yeah. At certified hypnosis, certified angel card reader, board certified clinical hypnotherapist, psychic development mentor, spiritual coach, and speaker. Erin continues her academic studies to this very day. Her credentials include creator and founder of the Lightworker Development School, psychic development mentor, spiritual coach, clinical hypnotherapist, an NLP, which is a neuro-linguistic programmer or programming, EFT, emotional freedom technique, Ushi, Reiki master, and she has studied with Doreen Virtue, Radley Valentine, Dean Graziosi, Michael Stevenson, and the one and the only Tony Robbins. Studied at the University of Metaphysics in Sedona, founding member of Light Miracle Network, and founding partner of CTC, Coach Talk Cafe. I introduce to you the one, the only, Erin Koczur. How are you doing?
Hey, Paul, I'm doing great. Thank you so much. I am thrilled to be here. Our journey started so long ago, and anytime that I can spend some time with you, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled.
And it all started back. I think how it started when I post is when I created Claremont Paranormal back in like 2013.
Correct.
And
I was like the first person who showed up. I'm like,
hey! You're like, where's your meeting? It's over here. I'm like, yeah, you showed up, and we had done quite a few paranormal investigations together. Especially, I remember that the one that I always bring up the stories that people ask me about. Can you tell me about some of your investigations? And I tell them about that one we did in Pine Hills, that woman that called us, and
is that the woman where she was gonna leave her husband.
She was gonna leave her husband.
She was gonna leave her husband, take the kids.
Yeah, they thought there was a demon in the house and stuff, and it was like we found out it was the grandmother, because the grandmother had just passed away. It wasn't only just a couple months earlier.
If I remember correctly, it was I had forgotten about the grandmother, but now that you say that, it was also the energy of the land and what was underneath the ground. And how powerful. Let's just stop and think for a moment. How empowering and how powerful when you can call in a team and say, this is going on. I mean, this woman was beautiful young couple with little kids, was going to leave her husband because she was so scared to be there. And to find out that, okay, hey, grandma, but also you've got these energy things underneath that is affecting the electrical things in your house, and here are ways you can address it. But if we weren't trained, if we didn't know both sides, we wouldn't have been able to help her.
Yeah. And I think even the grandfather or the father was living there too, and I think he was wheelchair bound. He was I think he was like a Vietnam vet, and been through war, been through those conditions and stuff like that. So he was facing his own problems and stuff, which were also manifesting in the house. So it was just
I remember
Amazing.
leaving, I didn't, now that you're saying that, all of a sudden I'm going, accessing, you can see with the eye movement, the memory. And I'm like, yes, you're right. The man in the wheelchair. Um, and he had a friend. That's right. It was someone he had been in the service with
Yeah.
was,
And he was in spirit,
okay.
and that was one of the spirits too that was involved. He was coming back and forth because um yeah, it
It
was
was
just,
something. I don't remember,
yeah.
but you know what? When we left, they were doing good. They were very happy. And I know when you followed up with them, they were enjoying living as a family in their home.
Yeah. Yeah. We allowed them to regain their own power back. And yeah. And the thing is, yeah, paranormal investigation should be in that field of counseling too. It's like you're not only there to just exorcise the demons, and not only that, you should be certified to be qualified to do something like that. But you should not only do it as a some novice thing to do on the weekend. Should be able to go in and resolve the issue, not only just, hey, there's a ghost. Okay,
Well, because
then
there's
what you
there's
do?
human beings involved in addition to other energy, other
Yeah.
beings. And depending on where they are in their transition on the other side, um, yes, it's almost like if you just hand a kid an electric carving knife and say, "You got this."
Yeah.
I'm sure they can do some good with it. At the same time, they might harm themselves or someone else, not because of any malice, because they didn't know. And um, yes, taking the time, get out there, do it. One of my clients, single mom, 3 kids, never done anything in her life,
Yeah.
and she enrolled with me, and she took my Lightworker certification program. And before we were even done, yes, she did start doing paranormal. She was invited to do paranormal investigations,
Wow.
and they after a few, they invited her to be a member of the team. And so she's going out there and she's helping people in that way. I mean, it's like,
Yeah. Now tell us a little bit about the Lightworker Development School.
okay. The Lightworker Development School is, I offer a couple of different programs. My main one is the Lightworker Certification Program. And we're going to take a little road trip on this to answer your question the right way.
Yeah.
So I've been a psychic medium my whole life. Obviously, as a kid, I didn't know those words. I knew nothing. I don't know. As a matter of fact, back in the day, anything and everything that would now be called metaphysical or spiritual was called the occult.
Mm.
I had nothing. The only thing I could get was like Hans Holzer's ghost story books at the library, like that's what I mean, it was like, okay, at least because I'm reading these and he's saying he went on these, not crazy, cool. And, I just had to learn on my own. I didn't have anybody, there wasn't anyone like me. And literally just as a kid, figuring it out on my own. Things like Parker Brothers. I got my first Ouija board, it might have been 10 or 11. It's
Yeah.
marketed as a toy. I'm doing seances, I'm doing this just because I'm reading books and figuring things out. There were some repercussions because I didn't know what I was doing, and I fully. Anyway, thank goodness the New Age movement came on in.
Yeah.
And you could start meeting people and taking classes and learning things. So I did. I went everywhere. I flew to other states. Any and everything I could learn, I dove into. And we're going to fast forward to just a couple of years ago. And my focus at that point really was women's empowerment. I had spent a lot of time learning about the mind, learning about our mindset, learning like timeline techniques, NLP, EFT, and I really wanted to help women to step into their own power.
Yeah.
Then, of course, the universe went, "You're not listening, are you?" I was like, "What?" And somebody, my whole spiritual side, I mean, this is just who I am. I can't separate that. It's who I am. It's who I've always been. And, I have my clients that I've had for over 20 years. I do readings, do hypnotherapy, do Reiki for them, teach them, mentor, all of this stuff. I've done workshops and expos and been a speaker. And then someone said something about how being an empath sucks.
Huh.
I kind of went cranky on that.
Yeah.
And I said, it doesn't suck. It's because you don't know how to use it. It's a gift. It's a blessing. It's one of your gifts. Oh my gosh. What do you mean it sucks? And I went, and that's when my guide said, all right, you listening now? It's
Yeah.
time. And I realized it went from there was nothing, no one you could talk to, no one you could ask, to we now have the internet, which is global, and there's a glut of information, but you don't know what's true, what's not true. Okay,
Yeah.
like if you were coming from where I was as a child, or even a teenager, or even if you're in your 20s, 30s, and you're looking at all of this, how do you know? There's so much conflicting info. There's so much out there. And that's when I said, no, got to fix this. And I realized that is, I charted to do this. It just took me a little time to catch on. So I teach everything that a person should know.
Yeah.
Especially if you are an empath, an intuitive, a medium, if you are a healer, if you're called to do that. A lot of people have abilities and they don't understand them, or they think they're crazy, or they're surrounded by people, again, they don't have anyone to talk to, who think they're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so the school is a safe space. It's where I hold a safe space.
Yeah.
Where you will learn, you will grow, you will develop. We're going to discover what your abilities are. We're going to develop those. We're going to find out if you have any others you didn't know about. We're going to develop those. We're going to teach you about energy, teach you how to master your own, teach you how to work with your celestial crew, your guides, your guardians, and your angels. There's a reason we have them. What do they do? How do I communicate with them? How do I know when they're talking to me and understand? So we learn the language between you and them.
Yeah.
And, these are skills that you not only use for yourself for the rest of your life, the majority end up going, I've always wanted to help people. And so they take these tools and they take this knowledge and they go out and they serve people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we are.
I even think we, in some of the cases that we had worked on, back, in the heyday of Claremont Paranormal's creation, I remember I think pretty much every single one of other than that one we were just talking about, but a lot of people who end up calling these groups in for investigation, we lead them into a direction too that the reason they're experiencing this phenomenon is because they are empaths. They are sensitive. They are intuitive, but they don't know it. They come screaming and, ringing the bell going, I need help. I need help. We show up, we consult them, we comfort them, we find out what's
But we're
going
not
on, and then we go,
that's right.
oh, by the way, we want to let you know that you have the ability. You are psychic. You are a medium, and this might be something to develop, because otherwise, I think we had a client too, wasn't it, that they felt like they didn't want that gift, We were trying to, I remember
might
trying to
have.
convince one of them. I was like, yeah, but
You
I
know
don't want
what?
that. I don't want that.
And you know what? That's fine too. You know, uh, in the many, many decades of study and literally just everything, you meet some people like that.
Yeah.
And then I tell them that's perfectly okay. I will say though that you are telling me that this, and this is bothering you. And I'm letting you know we can keep treating the symptoms, or if you would like to learn how to, let's go to that core root and let you be the one in control of it.
Yeah.
You know, my students, my clients, um, in the program, there is a part, I have a very special technique where I teach them how to turn it down and turn it up as needed. You know,
Yeah.
back in the day when we were out roaming the world in the malls and stuff, you know, a lot of empaths go, I can't, you know, I'm overwhelmed, I'm overwhelmed. I'm like, that's because you're sucking it all in.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And so that's why I'm saying it's life changing, because it puts you back in the driver's seat of your life.
Yeah.
And not only that, we charted to have these abilities. We charted. Whether we decided, whether it's in our life chart that we're going to go out and use it to be of service in some way to people, we still chose it because maybe it was just to be of service to our family and our
Yeah.
friends or our community. You know, it's not because everyone was wanting to write a book or do this or do that. We're all connected. We are all energy. If you charted to have these gifts, there's a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. And staying in contact with our loved ones that have passed over, or friends that have passed over. It's after
A lot of people,
after getting after going through mediumship, and I got my certification as a certified medium through
did you go
Chapel of
through
Spiritual Light.
Cassadaga? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if it was
and
through Cassadaga.
it took like 10 years, about 10 years to go through the whole mediumship program and stuff. And through that course and doing mediumship and stuff, you start to realize how closely connected we are to the other side. It's like they're not dead. Death is just, it's just a label we've given it. It's it's the transition between this
It's,
side and the
yeah.
other side. That's all it is. Our consciousness does not die. But then when I hear, people talking about, death, dying, and I'm going, no, they're not gone. They're not gone. They're more here now in the present than they ever could be.
You know what, Paul? A majority of the people that we're talking about here were never exposed to that. That was not a truth for them. They were told something different. They were conditioned, and those around them firmly believed it. So of course they believed it. Um, so sometimes, when you come and you tell them, well, actually, they're like, wait a minute, I've got like 30, 40 years worth of people who told me otherwise.
Yeah.
you know um and so I understand that there's also fear, especially, I'm not going to talk about religion, but especially under the Christian umbrella, where that's just a no. So there's also that fear of hell and the damnation, and I understand those things. And a lot of the dogma was really, some of it was with good intentions to help people live a fruitful life with kindness to each other. But there was also a lot mixed in with that made you scared.
Yeah.
What's going to happen. Plus, people, we're afraid of pain. Not a lot of us go, woohoo, pain. So that's, that's really scary. And even if you're surrounded, you're going through it by yourself. So, it's and because those things were put into the mind so early, those neural pathways were not only built, but they have been paved over and maintained. So when we introduce a new thought, sometimes people are really going to push back because it's going, no, 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 no.
Yeah. 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 It's definitely, and it's, yeah. And especially, nowadays, ever since the whole COVID thing hits and stuff, and, a lot of people have lost a lot of, a lot of friends or family and stuff. And before we went on the air, there was something we were going to talk about on the show is, today is a very special day. It's a
Yes.
very unusual day, especially it being a Tuesday,
Yeah, it's the
of the
Tuesday,
2/22
literally.
22. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and so what exactly, I wouldn't say what exactly, but
Well,
what are your thoughts on the 2/2/2/2/2/2/2 Tuesday?
okay. Well, it's a very, very powerful day. You always have that when you have a sequence of numbers like that. Okay, it takes the vibration of that two and on it and on it and on it and on it, and it says, I'm a two, here I am. One of the things that's going to happen with this energy is a lot of people are going to be having breakthroughs. Now, some of these breakthroughs are going to feel like, yay, liberating. I feel so clear, like I've got clarity. I'm feeling energetic. I'm feeling renewed. I'm feeling on top of the world. And just like they're having these aha epiphany moments and just
Yeah.
like, woo! Some of those breakthroughs are going to bring up old stuff. They're going to bring up old stuff. So that's not going to feel as woohoo,
Yeah.
even though it's just as fabulous because it's saying, okay, let's push this stuff up and get it out of you.
Yeah.
Let's get you that clarity on these things that have been holding you back. Let's get you clarity on the things in your life that it's like, no, it's time for a new chapter. It's time to let go of this. And that's, for some people, that's going to be really uncomfortable and it may be really scary.
Yeah.
Okay, why is this all happening to me now? Why is this, I'm having these memories, I'm having these dreams, or this is going on in my life and all of this, and it's overwhelming. And it's the same beneficial energy
Yeah.
saying, okay, let's help you. But it's not going to feel that way.
It's
So
almost
it's
like a shot of ayahuasca, but without the medicine.
yeah. Yes. And here's another thing. And this again comes from just my own personal and professional and academic experience. Majority of us think that life is happening to us and not for us or because of us.
Mm.
And I remember the first time, oh my gosh, before you and I even met. So I'm going back like a good 15, 20 years. I was doing an expo and there was another vendor there who's doing readings and we were having a conversation and I explained to him how we co-create with the universe.
Yeah.
We are energy. Everything is energy. And when we realize that and open up to it and realize that it really is us creating our lives. At first, it's really scary. And then you start getting pissed about everything crappy that's ever happened. You're like, really? Really? You think I did this to me? You think I chose this? Are you taking drugs I don't know about?
Yeah.
But once you get past that stage, it's very liberating. Wait a minute. if I don't like something in my life, I can make a conscious, deliberate change. Okay, my energy, your thoughts are energy, all of these things. And you're like, oh, okay, great. It's not happening to me. And it's very liberating. He did not take that well, got
Oh,
very angry at me, stormed off. And it was about 2 weeks later when I got a message saying, you took me by surprise. No one had ever, I'd never heard that before. No one had ever told me that before.
yeah.
And it needed some time to digest that.
Oh,
And a lot of people still do. And even more so, you need to be exposed to that information. It's not meant to be kept a secret.
yeah.
I call myself a light worker because that's what I am. And when we look at the word light, right, bringing light to a situation. So as a light worker, maybe with you, I'm going to light you up. I'm going to take that light inside of you and help you make it bright
Yeah.
so you can shine and be who you are and who you were meant to be. Or maybe I'm going to shine a light on a road or a path that you can explore and look and see. Or maybe I'm just going to turn the light on around you. And sometimes that means you're going to see the garbage and the crap that's around you that needs to be cleaned up. You know, that's what a light does.
Yeah.
That means
Yeah.
I'm there to help you and be of service in that way. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of light workers out there that don't even realize they are.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, but light working is actually ancient. It's just now it's becoming more popular because of what we're going through in this era and this time and this epochs that we're going through. We're in that cycle, and throughout history, a lot of esoteric schools and stuff, the mystery schools, have always taught. That's one of the key bases of their craft, from, the Rosicrucians to even Freemasonry. Freemasonry is really the structure of Freemasonry is based off of enlightenment. It's based off of, you were born in the dark. We start in the dark. The universe started in the dark, thus ourselves. And the craft is enabling you and teaches you how to reach the light and to be more enlightened. So,
Exactly. And enlightened, when you think of light, right? Um, to lift you up. You're not burdened, you're not weighed down by all sorts of things once you start seeing them with more clarity, what they really are, what they're meant to be for you,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? Um, and I'm going to share, you didn't ask this, but you triggered a question I get a lot. You
Yeah.
triggered a question I get a lot, and I'd love to just put it out there. One of the things I get, okay, so you tell me that before I got here, I decided I charted my life and I'm da 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 da. And then I get here and I'm born and I don't remember any of it. Why wouldn't I remember it? Why do I have to egg hunt for it?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to get things done if I'm not allowed to remember? Ah, okay. So if someone just hands you your high school graduation certificate, did you learn anything? Or if all you did was read some books and you get that certificate, did you really learn it? Do you really know it? So we work it out. We do have safeguards and our celestial crew and all of these other things to help us with it. And we do have our own intuition. Okay, intuition is when you get in touch with your higher self and you're like this with the universe and you're getting information for you.
Yeah.
In addition, I have found almost every empath has at least one other psychic clair. And being an intuitive, or having one of the psychic clairs is when you get information regarding somebody else. But we all have the one, our own inner one.
Yeah.
So we get that along the way. And the reason that, because you can't go to 6th grade until you finished first, there's these foundational things that you learn, you discover about yourself, you discover about things, and it's not by rote, you become it. And that's really, we come to experience.
Yeah. Yeah. The things that we've had in a past life, the gifts what we had, the experiences that we've had in a past life, we forget those because of, and my feeling is that we forget our past lives for the purpose of not learning it again, but experiencing it again
In
in
a
its
different
purity.
way. And also in another way,
Yeah.
there is so many ways to experience any one single thing. And here's another thing about past lives. Say you're going to go on a beach vacation, right?
Yeah.
So let's look around your house. All right, so you have skis and you have a parka, you have a swimsuit, you have a kayak, and over here you've got this and that and da 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 da. You're only going to pack what you need for the beach vacation.
Yeah.
You're not going to take it all. So that's another reason why we're not going to remember all of our past lives, and we're not going to bring every single thing with us. We're going to bring the things that are in alignment and will make sense for the life that we're living. And there are certain skills and abilities that we bring because we've just done such a good job with them that they're now just such a part of our vibration.
Yeah.
And also some because we want to experience it now in another facet, and if we were consciously remembering, especially think about it from a young age, if you consciously remembered, read stories about children. There's so many books out there, articles, YouTube videos of children who've been interviewed that remember past lives.
Yeah.
And you know what happens? They're so caught up in it that they don't live this one.
Ah. Yeah. Yeah.
They're so caught up in it that they don't live this one. And if all of the memories and all of the feelings and all of the everything, all right, our human brain, we go, psst, we wouldn't be getting anything else done. We wouldn't be experiencing. We would literally be locked in a nonstop movie with all of those emotions. And emotion means energy in motion. So, when your body is, whether you're feeling pumped up or feeling really down or whatever, but you're like this, you're just holding on, because the human body in its design, there's only so much energy stuff you can do before you short circuit.
Yeah. Yeah. Suffering from PTSD, you're so caught up and consumed by these memories and stuff like that,
Now,
it'll
could you
affect your
imagine
psyche.
if you take that times however many lifetimes?
Man, yeah. Can you imagine all of your
So
lifetimes you carried that with you?
this is, and this is why we don't do it. This is why we don't. And like I said, I've studied, or you were saying, I have studied from aromatherapy to Zen. Everything fascinates me. I want to learn, I want to know. And, one of the great things is along my path of learning is discovering the more scientific side, the hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, NLP, even like the tools like EFT, okay? Learning that and the body and the mind and the brain and how everything works. And then taking the spiritual side and knowing, all right, we're all energy and this and that and da da da. And then bringing it together.
Yeah.
That's what I do with the school. That way it doesn't take somebody 50 years to
Yeah.
have to figure something out. No, 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 no. I already did it for you. Let's just get you going, because right now, a far greater number than will admit, I get messages every day. They feel this urge, they feel something pushing, they're like, something, right?
Yeah.
And things are happening and they don't know what to do with it because they charted to be here for now. The cycle of the 20, between now and 2035, there's going to be a lot of changes. Some people are going to embrace and go, woo. Some, it's going to be challenging. No matter what, though, you still also have the other group that don't like change at all.
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be really scary. So a lot of people are going to be looking for guidance. They're going to be looking for comfort. They're going to be looking for healing. Another really interesting phenomenon that's going to happen. Remember how I said now, like today and starting today, and it's really going to keep pushing, is maybe some old karma cycles, behaviors, thought patterns, beliefs, whatever that you just need to get rid of, or things in your life, people in your life, just it's literally got you chained and you're getting nowhere. And the universe is saying, I'm pointing out the chain, but it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And they're going to be looking for guidance. A lot of people are also going to this year, some of the ways that's going to manifest is also in illnesses. The body speaking to us. All right, listen, you're holding on to this energy. This energy is here. A thought is energy. Everything is energy. So we're going to try and make ourselves known. And then they're like, oh my gosh, so many people. What's going on? Again, there's going to be a huge majority of us called to service.
Yeah.
To service, to help people heal, to give them comfort, to give them guidance, but most importantly, to give them tools to empower them so that you know nothing's happening to you, it's happening for you. And here's a manual. We didn't come
Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
manual. You know what? It took me more than 50 something years, but I don't count those first 7, like I wasn't really doing that much.
Yeah.
Well, I was doing some things, but but it's like, okay, guess what? There's a reason why I started from then. There's a reason why I had to learn it this way. There's a reason why I have studied and participated in so many pantheons and belief systems and cultures, so that when anyone I meet, that this is a good fit, I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And that it doesn't have to take you that long. I'm so proud of every one of client, student that I've ever worked with. I've had some who thought they were crazy, and then turns out that they were channeling and has written 3 bestsellers.
Wow.
by learning how to accept the information.
Yeah.
One who we ended up using a timeline session, who was an amazing, she is like the most amazing medium, but she had a very traumatic experience with it when she was young.
Mm.
And while we were growing her other gifts, I kept going, there's something. And you know what? If I didn't have this other tool, right? But we did, we went in there, it went poof, and she's rocking. I have a client who didn't even dare to, just wanted to learn how to maybe read cards or something. And she just gave notice to her job because she's going to have her own spiritual business.
Nice.
I have another client who has worked with me a couple of times, got through the Lightworker certification and the Lightworker apprentice certification. And she is now organizing retreats spiritual retreats and offering her own program, and
Yeah.
so many more. Like, you come in and, you know, part of it's already pre-designed because I know the things you need to know. And then the rest, it's designed for you. And so by the time we're getting towards the end of the program, they're confident, they're rocking it. And the majority of them do end up deciding, I'm offering my service, I'm going to go out there and be of service.
Yeah. Yeah. And now it's a very special time for the light workers and anybody who has the intuitive gift, and everybody does. It's just, those who recognize it and move forward with it. But yeah, I feel this is a very important time, because you had mentioned something, I think, before we went into, before I started recording this and stuff. You mentioned that there's going to be some sort of, and not to scare people, but there's going to be some sort of, lack of a better word, a rapture. I think the rapture's already happened.
I'm
Right.
hesitant to use that word, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
It already comes with its own vibe. It already comes with a doom and gloom vibe that when you say certain words, people stop listening after that word.
You're right. Yeah.
And so, again, going back to we co-create, there are going to be some things coming up that, we're not going to be huge fans of. I'm not going to lie. We are not going to throw ticket tape parades. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to scare people, because that's one of the blessings of being an intuitive, being psychic, of being someone who feels the energy, reads the energy, someone, whether you are there's so many ways to be a healer. When you feel this and it's coming, you, the light worker, go, okay, it's time for me to make sure I've got my own self-care in place, because I'm going to be out in the fields.
Yeah.
I need to be ready to take care of me and others. So it gives us that opportunity to prepare to say, guess what? Here it goes. And start getting the tools and the things to go out there and help others, because that's also part of it, is learning. This is the 6th year. The 6th year is all about community.
Yeah.
We're going to be called to learn how to do that. And there's many ways, and to go out there and to help people, to guide them, to heal them, to inspire them, to help them with clarity, help them with, direction, and to help keep that inner flame, that light, from going out.
Mm. Yeah.
It's kind of like, if a storm is coming, you can prepare. And when the storm is over, the sun comes out and there's some rainbows. And so that's what this is. It's also, though, that the best way to prepare is to be ready to be there to help others.
Yeah. 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 And you have a website. I've got it. I did put the website on the Conscious Radio Network website. Not web page. There's lots of pages on my website. But anybody who wants to get more information on your school, I do have the website up on the resources. And then also after the video, because I'll also have this video up on the website as well. And have all your information.
I'd like to offer a gift to your viewers and listeners. I have written an ebook, Spirit Guides 101, to give people that information to at least get started.
Yeah.
Give them the tips and tools, and explain to them what a guide is, what a guide does, how to work with your guide, and some exercises to build that. because I do understand not everybody is looking for a mentor. Not everybody is ready to really take that serious deep dive into a subject,
Yeah.
into getting that knowledge. But I still want that out there. All right, this is my way of also being of service. So if they message me through the website, I will send them a free ebook.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, anybody who's watching this is gonna be watching this show, and all of our subscribers. I think we're up to like 500 subscribers now. It's like, ooh, awesome. And anybody who eventually down the line sees the show and goes to the Conscious Radio Network website and contacts Erin, you get the ebook. So
Yep, absolutely. I've already written it. It's out.
awesome. What's the
I'm more
name of
than
the book?
happy to send it in. It's called Spirit Guide 101.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
And, the feedback from people that I have gifted it to has been so wonderful. I love getting messages when they say, oh my gosh, this was so surprising, or that I didn't know, or oh, this was so helpful,
Yeah.
and then knowing that it's carrying on, I do have a deep, you've known me a long time. I freaking love people. I want everyone happy. And I know that, we can't always be, because I'm also human, but I love people and I can't be everywhere. If I
Yeah.
could, I'd be hugging everybody. You know that. I'd be
Yeah.
hugging everybody. So in my group on Facebook, I have a private group. It's called the Light Warriors. I have a ton of free material and resources in there to help people, to guide them, and give them a space where there's so many other just like them.
Yeah.
Like-minded, open-hearted people just like them, to ask questions and to learn. And I do intuitive exercises and, all sorts of great things in there. So I can send you the link for the Light Warriors. You can put that there. They can come on in. I'm giving
Yeah.
an invite now. There's a Lightworker Erin Koczur page, which has over a decade of material on it as well. And then, as you said, the website, they send me a message. They can email me through it. I'll send them that ebook. And this is my way of trying to get as much light out there as I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, is the ebook exclusively through your network, through your website, or well, anything or not anything? But there's a lot of stuff that's online, or was it
No.
Amazon?
It is something I send out privately.
Oh, okay. Even better.
Yep.
You have
It is
full
something.
control.
Nope. It is something I send out privately. Like I said, there's a lot of information out there. And so real quick, I will say, I've learned the long original methods of a lot of things. There's also a single mom. We do not always have a half hour to light a candle, light some incense, hum kumbaya, and do it. I mean, it doesn't always work that way.
Yeah.
So I also have techniques so that you can accomplish something in 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, different things like that. And so I'll teach both ways, because again, I equate it to, do you need a butter knife or do you need an electric carving knife? Sometimes you want the butter knife. Sometimes you want the other. Neither one is good. Neither one is bad. They're just different. And there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
There's a ton of info out there. And I prefer that what I'm saying is based on my knowledge, my experience, rather than, well, I heard.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. And everything that you have is the school is just strictly
They
based
are,
online, or do you also have
no, we are, it's virtual. I have clients and students literally around the globe. And I offer a 6-month Lightworker certification mentorship program. There's a lot of that's one-on-one, hands-on, plus the student groups, a lot of stuff in that. I offer a 8-week hypnotherapy program where we heal your past, your present, and your future using timeline and hypnotherapy techniques. And then I have a group program where I literally do a weekly training, and it can be anything from aromatherapy to Zen.
Yeah.
And I love that because it just exposes you to a lot of different information. And for someone who is just not even just not, I don't want to say not just starting with their abilities, because that's not true, but someone who is just hearing these words for the first time, not really sure what they might want to dive into, this gives them that chance to learn a little bit about smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Again, and I do it as a mastermind. All right. I have spent a lot of time, I would say in that side of the world too, masterminds and, working with Tony Robbins, working with Dean Graziosi, working with Gabriella De Gio, who, personal friend and mentor of hers, Jim Rohn. I mean, I've spent a lot of time in the personal development field and learning. I'm also a quantum coach. I've spent a lot of time learning that. And so we do it that way because when you bring all of these other amazing, beautiful women together who have different experiences, different skills, different abilities,
Yeah.
someone's going to ask different questions, and it gives someone a really nice, safe place to just explore before they just go, this road. So I do offer those programs, and the way it works is we do an assessment call. So someone will reach out to me, you send me a message, and we'll set up a time to talk. There are some questions I'm going to ask before we get on the phone. And, if I think any of the programs is a good fit for you, I'll tell you about it.
Yeah.
If I don't, I'm going to give you my best recommendations for you. In order to enroll in the school, in a program, I need to know it really is the right thing for you and I am the right person for you. Because we were talking about this before. I'm not meant to do everything. I don't want to do everything. There's a reason there's so many of us here.
Yeah.
And the world needs what each individual one of us has to offer. So if I'm not the right person, I'm going to find out where you are, where you want to go. And, if my program's not the right fit, I'm going to give you some suggestions
Yeah.
and point you in a direction. I'm not just going to leave you there.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like the signpost, the signposts that have like a million arrows that are on them. That one's going that way. This one's going that way. You're like that signpost. You're like, okay, I'm here to help you to
Well,
find your direction.
I like to think of it more because, again, the light worker is like, I've got that light,
Yeah.
and it's going to be, okay, this road may not be your best. How I'm going to tell you about this road for you, or maybe that road, and I'm going to shine the light on it and give you the power, that own personal power to make an informed decision for yourself. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to let you know what your options are and what I know of those. And if I know maybe another mentor or coach or a program, I'm going to let you know about that.
Yeah.
Because my job is to be the light. It's either going to be to light you up or help light up something so you can see it and go that path, or it might be to be that light to show you what's going on around you so you can address it. You can't take care of it in the dark. So that's what I do,
Yeah.
and that's the purpose of the Lightworker Development School. And over time, I am only one person. I love working one-on-one. That is my passion. At this time, I do not have a video series because then that takes away my passion.
Yeah.
However, as the school continues to evolve and expand, there'll be more programs. I'm looking to one day, bring in others, experts in their fields, let them offer classes. And, believe it or not, this started out as me wanting to be of service and help people and fulfill my chart. And as time has gone by, I've realized it's bigger than I knew and in the beginning, and I want to leave it as a legacy, a place where people know they can go and get the support, get the accountability. You and I both know if you're not driven, so it's so easy to fall off a wagon on your own, but to get that accountability, to get that feedback that you're not going to get from a book or a video, to have someone push you in the tush, sometimes you need that.
Yeah.
Or maybe someone to say, hey, let's take a break, let's take a breather.
Yeah.
And I want that to be there for people so that anything within the metaphysical, spiritual, holistic fields, there's a safe place with the best resources.
Yeah. When's the last time you've been to Florida?
Oh, I just flew back October.
Oh, wow. You gotta,
but I was on the other side.
Yeah.
I was over Naples side.
Yeah, I've started taking part. They actually, I'm actually on the board now of the Sanctuary of Florida. It's an organization that puts together all these psychic fairs throughout the state, or metaphysical fairs throughout the whole state of Florida, and it's growing. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I ought to talk to Mary Ellen and see if if you ever want to take a trip down here and stuff like that, and be one of the practitioners or vendors that have their own booth and stuff like that. You can...
Well, you know what? Right now, I mean, I welcome the opportunity, like I say, to be of service and be a light to anybody, anywhere. What I wanted to say is that the only clients that I do private services for are those that have been with me like 20 years or more, so usually if someone is looking for a reading or looking for a Reiki or a healing session or a mediumship or even astrology, I refer them to somebody because my passion really is in being a mentor and a coach and really being there for someone in that way. I also want to let you know, though, that I am one of the keynote speakers at a retreat coming up in May. It's going to be May 13, I believe. I'm going to bring this up real quick and I can send you this information as well. But I am going to be one of the keynote speakers at this event in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona. And it's called the Ultimate Retreat and Event. And there's 14 of us keynote speakers, people coming in from around the world that are experts also in their field.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interactive. And it's going to be, we're going to have meditations. We're going to teach breath work. We've got experts in the field of law of attraction, Reiki, mediumship. I'm going to be teaching. My program is how to literally master your energy, and you're going to go home and you're going to transform your life with less than 2 weeks. So we've got a lot of great stuff. Oh, and we are offering it as a Zoom in addition to in person. And the reason for that is, the understanding that times can be uncertain. And a lot of times you may want to attend something.
Yeah.
But with the way the world's going, you might not be able to, or maybe someone in your family you're taking care of, a lot of things like that. I remember my absolute joy, my first UPW with Tony Robbins, when I was able to do that one virtual. I was so skippy happy, because those are 12, 14-hour days, and I was able to pause and put mute and run to the bathroom, which was great. But we understand that right now someone may feel a little uncomfortable making these plans. So
Yeah.
there is also a Zoom ticket so that you can attend and do it with us. So that it's going to be great. I'm going to send you that information as well.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You said that's in May.
It is in May, and it is May 13 to the 15. I'll send you the information. It's really, really going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, we have best-selling authors are going to be there. We have experts. Oh gosh, kind of scientist is she? All right, yeah, no. Anyway, so that's just it though. And we're bringing the marriage of all of these different fields and showing you what they are, how you can use them, giving you that information, and also you can tie it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, I know we're thinking of the event is thinking of doing one in Mount Shasta,
Nice.
and then taking it once the world is more safe to travel international,
Yeah.
you know. But absolutely. So you and I should definitely talk about me coming down to do a Florida thing.
Yeah.
I can do a workshop, a seminar, or something like that. We can offer, something along those lines. I can come and be a speaker, but I won't be doing readings.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we get a lot of speakers too, a lot of keynote speakers and stuff in these, and it's a whole weekend. It's a Saturday and a Sunday. Get a lot of speakers and workshops and stuff, and you got your own room and whatnot. But yeah, it's about it happens at least once a month. There was one last weekend that I couldn't make because I've got a lot of stuff going on. But one in Largo, Florida. The next one's in Sarasota, then Melbourne, then West Palm. So
Okay. Well, I have friends either Tampa, Naples, or I do have down over in Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Claremont.
yeah,
So, one of those, I would love to, let's see, talk about that, because again, it's about spreading the light,
yeah,
getting the information out there,
mhm,
and helping people, giving them the school, the skills, the tools, that confidence that, when something comes for you or when you face something, that you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing.
yeah, yeah. Can you believe it's been an hour?
That was fast.
It's like when I first started this show, I had 4-hour programs.
Oh,
I'd
I
have four
believe it.
different guests, and each guest had an hour. But it was a 4-hour show. It's like, can you imagine? It
Yeah,
wasn't bad for the guests because they only have an hour, but I'd have to
Paul.
sit here for like 4 hours, and it's like, oh,
Paul. I did Blog Talk Radio. I had my own show for a couple of years, and I also co-hosted on another show, and our shows were 2 hours long,
yeah,
as well, and I would do tutorials or readings and stuff on that. So I do know about the behind the scenes and how much goes into it, and yeah, I love being the guest.
yeah, yeah,
I love this part. But listen, anytime, please reach out. Any topic, I am more than happy to, like, if anyone who's watching has questions, like, okay, well, what about this or what about this? Have them post and leave a comment,
yeah,
down below the video, so that you can see it. They can also send to me, but I think it's better if your listeners and your viewers go, hey, well, here's a topic I'm interested in, or hey, I have a question about this.
yeah,
And then we can get together and, do a show just on that.
yeah, yeah. And I let all our listeners and subscribers and fans too. It's like, I've got all the information. The website for the radio station it's a one-stop shop. I mean, you go to the website, it's got all the contact information. It's got all the it's the roadmap. It's because right now we're already on iHeart, we're on Spotify, we're getting ready to go on Pandora. Spreaker, I'm still building. That's something that's paid, that you got to actually pay.
Yeah, I know about it. I
It's
know
like,
about it.
but
I do know about that.
so yeah,
I'll be honest. Me, I'm a Pandora fan, but that's just me. You know,
right.
that's where I go. My Pandora.
Yep.
Yeah. So no, that's wonderful, because see, here's another example of being a light worker. By getting the information out there, you are taking your time, your energy, resources, and that not just from this moment, all of these years and everything you've done and you've learned and you've experienced, uh, to get to this point, to do this.
Yeah.
And you're being a light worker. You're getting the information out there. You are broadcasting it. You are speaking it. You're making sure it gets out there into the airwaves, so that if anyone should be listening and tapping in, it's like they're getting this, this is doing light work. And I thank you for what you are doing.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And yeah, that's the goal of Conscious Radio Network. Is it's about consciousness. It's about consciousness studies. It's about learning thyself. It's it's for people that are lost. There's a lot of people out there that are lost and have no, I wouldn't say lost their sense of direction, but they're in that moment going, oh man, they've just lost hope. And
that's just it. That's it right there. And that's when the flame is kind of dimming, and when all of the other stuff going on in your head, again, remember I told you your thoughts create the emotions, not the other way around. Yeah. So that's energy, emotion. So now the way you're physically vibrating and the way you're physically feeling really dense, because we are all different frequencies. So you're now at a lower frequency. You're feeling like this. And so it becomes a cycle. Yeah. And you're numb. You're afraid to hope. You're afraid to hope. And you and I, we're human. We've all been there. Yeah. That's why we can talk about it. Okay. And I'm sure I'm going to have some more days that'll come up and it's going to be like that. And after I have like my little like pity party, I'm going to go put on my Pandora, because that is my magic. I raise my vibration. Yeah. Music is one of the fastest ways to change your vibration. Yep. And doing something physical also will break the train of thought, and that brings you up too. And they're afraid to dream. They're afraid to hope. They're afraid to desire something. And that's why information like this is so important.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, are we going to call it? Who's going to call it? Call it.
Well, I do want to say, anyone who's watching this at any point in time, whether it is today when we got together on February 22nd, 2022, or you know what, if it's 100 years from now, because I'm going, woohoo, go Paul. All right. Like and share. Why? That's your way of also doing light work. Yep. When you help to share the information, get it out to people, and then by liking, what happens is the platform goes, oh, people are interested in this, so they make sure it pops up more frequently. Yeah. And again, by doing this is a way of you doing light work, helping us to get this information out, open up someone's mind, open up someone's heart, maybe just lift someone's day. You are doing light work. So again, yes, please, any point in time, like and share, and leave comments. Let us know, what did you think about this?
Leave comments.
Leave comments. What was the most interesting? What was like a big aha for you? What would you like to know more of? What's going on in your world? And honestly, how can either I or Paul be of service to you.
Yeah. And that's
You,
where the subscribers come in too, because by subscribing, you have the choice of either getting notifications. Oh, hey, what's coming up next week? What information? Because if you don't subscribe, you're not gonna know. We might have a show that's
you
gonna
don't. Yeah.
really hit you big. Going, oh my God, that's
I love my
information I've
subscribe
been
button.
looking for.
I love my subscribe button because I'll get, and I have my favorites.
Yeah.
And I'll just get, okay, good. They did something new. Something new is up. Because again, I love to learn. You know, you can't stop. There's always something more to know.
Yeah.
Even an expert, it's still more to know. You're always evolving. You're always growing because we're always experiencing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
this is definitely something. It's not very often that I use the headphones for some, because I'm having a weird issue, and I didn't realize this until later today when I was doing some testing. It's probably the way I have the computer hooked up, but normally, you know, I'll use these headphones to do the podcast because now all the audio is isolated without the background noise. However, the microphone's working the way it should, but I should hear you through the headphones rather than through the computer, which is interesting. It still works because it's being recorded through Zoom and stuff like that when it showed later and stuff. But with this, how the system is hooked up now, it kind of gets a little spooky because not very many people know that the house that I live in is quite active. So there's a lot of entities around here. There's a lot of spirit around here.
Guess what?
And but by using the headphone and
surprised.
the microphone right now is kind of interesting because every now and then I'll hear spirit. It's kind of like EVP. A spirit will start talking to me because the microphone's picking it up and I can hear it very well in the headphones.
Uh-huh. So, Yep. I love
like
I'm not
live
surprised.
EVP.
I'm not surprised. You know, that's been changing.
Yeah.
A lot more people are hearing, or because of our technology, phones and like even that Ring doorbell or home cameras, people are now picking up and seeing and hearing and going, what? Always there. It's not like it's suddenly popped up. It's just that our technology is catching up with the other energy vibrations. And so it's happening more and more. And then even for those who have gifts, you know, as we evolve and we're changing things in our life, we start picking up on others more and more too.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is going to be an interesting time. Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy road.
Buckle up. But you know what? It's like, think of a road trip, guys. Your time here on Earth is a road trip, okay? And so your vehicle, this is just, you prepare it. It's literally just like, okay, well, here, pack some of this, you need it, you have it, you know how to use it. Excuse me. And, you know, if you know how to take care of you, that inner being, that self, where that light, that energy.
Yeah.
And you maintain your car. That's the body, maintain your car. And then this is the engine. This is the control panel. And if someone tells you how to use the control panel, okay, you may encounter traffic jams, you may encounter potholes or detours or this or that, but you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're going to be okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right.
I thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Erin.
Thank you.
Bless you, my friend.
And you as well.
Keep me updated on some upcoming projects. You're welcome on here anytime. And
I will send you the retreat info. Right. I will I will also send you an ebook.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, you are welcome. And I know I was supposed to send you something else, and I'll figure it out later.
Awesome. Well,
all right.
Erin, you
Be
have
well.
a wonderful night. Blessings, my friend. Thank you for being on the show. And for all the listeners, viewers, fans, until next time, thank you everybody for listening in and watching. And namaste and bless everybody. Thank you very much. Erin, you have a wonderful night.
You too, Paul. Bye.
Bye.